You're watching EOtv.
Welcome to EOtv. I'm Andrea Collins.
And I'm Randall Mauricio. This is your weekly Entrepreneurs Organization webcast. Andrea's back.
Good to be back. On this week's show, we are very excited to hear from Jim Collins. He'll be coming up later in the show. First, EO member Marty Metro tells us about ways to save money and help out the environment. Very important.
That sounds like a win-win. Also on this week's show, we're working on motivation. We're talking to Jill Esplin about staying focused and motivated in your personal and business lives.
Let's get this going.
Woo-woo. Well, we've all heard about going green, and to many companies, it simply means recycling. But as EO Los Angeles member Marty Metro explains, starting a costly recycling program is not the only way to go green and save or make a little money. Marty's built a business not on recycling, but on reusing cardboard boxes from large corporations and then selling them to consumers and smaller companies at a lower cost. He shares 5 tips with us on how you can save money through reuse.
Hi, I'm Marty Metro, the founder and CEO of UsedCardboardBoxes.com. I'm going to give you 5 easy steps that you can take within your own organization to create value and increase profits by simply reusing. Create a mindset. The first thing you want to do is educate and encourage your own employees about the value of reuse. If you organize a green team of motivated individuals from each department within your company, you'll be amazed at the ideas they bring forth for reusing items within your own organization. Analyze your waste stream. Seriously, take a good look at what you're throwing away. Then compare it to what you're purchasing. If you run a large organization, there's a very good chance that one department is throwing something away that another's just about to purchase. Connect with your community. You know, there's nonprofit organizations all across the country that would value from a lot of the things that you're throwing away. Take this opportunity to look at what you're throwing away, donate some of it. You'll be able to reduce your disposal costs and you'll increase your charitable contributions. Be heard. Talk about your findings, share your successes with your employees, and share your successes with the rest of the world. Going green is a great way to get PR for your company. Whenever possible, buy used. Look, if it doesn't have moving parts, if it's a short-term or even disposable item, buy it used and save a bundle. This isn't just a tip. This is big business. You ever heard of a little company called eBay?
By trying even 1 or 2 of Marty's tips, you may find your business is better for the environment and your bottom line.
Do you ever feel like it's difficult to get motivated? Of course, we all do. National motivational speaker and author Jill Esplin has a passion for motivating and encouraging people around the world. And she joins us today to share with us how to stay focused and motivated in your personal life and in your business. Jill, what do you think best motivates leaders, whether at home, school, or in their business?
Really, I think it's that they're doing what they want to do versus something that we kind of have to do. Figure out, identify what it is that you're passionate about doing, and then the motivation is just intrinsic, and try to motivate yourself. The motivation will kind of follow.
In thinking about motivating the next generation of leaders, what do you think best motivates teens?
For teenagers in particular, often it takes exterior rewards and a reward system so they could feel that intrinsic motivator from within. So the idea would be reward externally. If you do this, then you get this. When working with parents, telling them, what can we do, something they'd be excited about, not a new gadget or monetary reward, but giving them options.
Will you be discussing motivation in your session at the EO Family Adventure?
It's a day workshop. So we're really going to look at asking the question, will this choice move my life forward? So in that small time, giving them opportunity to successfully take a risk and feel successful in that. We'll give them that feeling created in a safe environment so they could take that risk back at home.
So Jill, what can people expect to take away from the Family Adventure experience?
And in this workshop, what will last for a lifetime is typically emotions felt. So the biggest thing for that is, again, that taking the risk, knowing that whatever the situation in their life is, that they feel comfortable stepping into that learning zone, because that, as a lifetime, new things will always come up as we grow and develop. So the message of try it.
Hello EO, I'm Bill Champion from EO, Nebraska. This is my 7th university here at Arizona, and over the years I've walked away with a lot of takeaway, a lot of knowledge, and definitely once-in-a-lifetime experiences. But nothing's better than seeing a once-in-a-lifetime experience for your children. And what I'm talking about is the EO Family Conference. This year's theme is Team Family. We have a great educational track. It's going to be located at the Lowe's Coronado Resort right there on the beach, with absolutely a fantastic learning track. We've got the international expert coming in and providing information for families on cellular and internet security for kids and families, along with a number of other tracks. Of all the things that you could be doing with your family this summer, I'm telling you, there's nothing that's going to be better for you and your kids than going to this year's event.
In this tip of the week, best-selling author and professional speaker Jim Collins shares the 6 attributes that a person needs to have to fill a key seat in your organization.
Hi, I'm Jim Collins, and I'm here with your tip of the week. And this one is on, so what makes for the right people in key seats? When we go back to our research and we take a look through, we actually find that there are 6 generic characteristics that any person for a key seat should have. Number 1, the right people for a key seat share your core values. Walking in the door. What that means is you don't teach them the values. They already hold those values, and you find people who share those values rather than trying to turn them into somebody that have those values. Number 2, the right people do not need to be tightly managed. The moment that you feel the need to tightly manage someone, you might have made a hiring mistake. Of course, you need to guide and teach and lead and all of those things. You want to be hands-on, but the right people will be self-managed and self-disciplined and self-motivated. Number 3, the right people do what they say they will do, period, full stop. Which means they are very, very careful about what they say they will do. Number 4, the right people understand they do not have a job. They have responsibilities. And they think in terms of not what is my job, what are my tasks, but what are my responsibilities? What am I ultimately responsible for? If I'm a doctor, I don't have a job to do surgery. I am responsible for the health of the patient. Key distinction. Number 5, the right people have window and mirror maturity. By this I mean window and maturity, let me put it this way. Window and mirror maturity works like this. When things go badly or you make a mistake, you're very comfortable standing in front of the mirror and saying, I'm responsible. I made that mistake. I own this one. Here's what I learned from it. Here's how I'll grow. Here's how I won't make that mistake in the future. That's the mirror, and that's very mature, rather than being defensive and trying to blame other people or say it wasn't really your fault. You own it. But when things go well, when things are a success, you point out the window. You don't stand in front of the mirror and say, gee, it was me and I'm really good and look at me. You point out the window to other people and you say, other people really helped make this happen. Good circumstances helped make this happen. And you really credit other factors than yourself for success. That's a certain kind of maturity that we call the window in the mirror, and the very best right people have it. And then finally, number 6, the right people are really passionate about your business, your company, and what you do. They might be passionate about the culture, they might be passionate about the people they work with, they might be passionate about your products or your services or your customers, but in one way or another, they walk in and they've still got that little bounce in their feet that is kind of, boy, I'm just so lucky to be part of this because I find it just cool. And that is your tip of the week.
Well, that wraps up another week of EOtv. Our thanks to Jim Collins for sharing his tip of the week. Only gold comes out of that man's mouth.
And thanks to Jill Esplin for her ideas on focus and motivation. Randall, I feel we need something motivating to leave on today.
Motivation. The only way of finding the limits of the possible, Andrea, is by going beyond them into the impossible.
Wow.
How's that?
Well, with that, we will see you next week.